República de la Argentina.
Land of contrast in a digital age. Argentines are a nation of Italians who speak Spanish and think they're British living in Paris. Spanish explorers landed in the 1500s and decimated the native population, starting a history of power shifts between the military and civilians. Argentines are very proud, well-educated, cosmopolitan, conservative, and politically incorrect. At one time, Argentina was the 10th wealthiest nation in the world. Now, as a result of debt, corruption, and other problems, Argentina is 62nd. It had achieved development, but lost it. Argentina is the land of contrast. More than 2,000 miles long, Argentina is the 8th largest country in land mass, but 32nd by population. 92% are urban, 97% are white, 92% are Roman Catholic, but only 20% practice. Teenagers today are the oldest group who have grown up completely under democracy. Politically, the country has a long history of power shifts. You've probably heard of Juan Perón and his wife Evita. He came to power, was exiled, and returned. The military took over in 1976 and restored order, but disappeared up to 30,000 people. Democracy returned in 1983, and since then the country has dismantled regulations, reenacted regulations, imposed peso-dollar parity, abandoned that parity, financed debts with a lot of borrowing, defaulted on the debt, restructured their debt, etc. Legally, the country is a constitutional republic with 3 branches of government. The president is elected every 4 years. The legislative branch consists of a 2-house Congress. The judicial branch is the Supreme Court, federal courts, and provincial courts. It's interesting that 1/3 of the candidates for both houses of Congress must be women. If you're over 18, you have to vote. Economically, there's a lot of good. Argentina's a G20 economy, classified as upper middle income. The economy is market-based with a positive trade balance and a steadily growing role of the state. High technology goods and services are emerging as significant export sectors. Nearly 500 U.S. companies are currently operating in Argentina. On the other hand, debt is over $8 billion. Inflation is thought to be much higher than the official figures. The country ranks low on economic freedom and competitiveness, and corruption is a serious problem. Public corruption is frequent in procurement, taxes, healthcare, regulations. Private corruption, well, let me tell you about that. Argentina has to make serious changes to their money laundering standards by October of 2011, or it will become the first ever G20 country placed on a blacklist for jurisdictions in which financial transactions present a high risk of criminal activity. Argentina has a high literacy rate and offers free public education all the way up through college. There are 38 public universities. But there are noticeable inequities between the urban and non-urban population, and between the middle and upper class, and the rest of the society who can't afford private education. The quality of public education is stressed by the demand on the budget. Only 3 in 8 adults have completed high school. Argentina has a rich culture full of tradition and rituals. They value individuality and self-expression. Success is very important. Communication is full of nonverbal clues. They accept hierarchy. Less powerful citizens accept that they are. Security is valued over adventure and risk. Conflict and competition are threatening. If you think the language of Argentina is Espanol, that's not quite correct. It's Castellano, which is not to be confused with Spain's Castilian or Mexico's Spanish. They have different pronunciations and conjugations and vocabulary. The intonation in Argentina resembles Italian dialects more than anything else. The most important thing, perhaps, to remember is that when you're translating English into the language of Argentina, the text is likely to expand up to 35%. Argentina's currency is the Argentinian peso. The exchange rate is around 4 pesos per dollar. They use the 24-hour clock, and when you're writing the date, the day comes before the month. Their measurement system is the metric system. Telephone numbers are 10 digits long. The area code could be 2 or 3 digits, and the phone number 6, 7, or 8, but put them together and they're going to be 10. When you're calling a cell phone number, you have to add 15 between the area code and the phone number. The address puts the name first, then the street, then the postal code and the town, and if you're mailing from out of the country, add the country at the bottom. The reading and collating sequence and the numeric formatting are not much different from what we know in the U.S., but here are some more details if you're interested. As you might expect, colors have strong meanings, but sometimes conflicting ones. Yellow could be hope or cowardice. The flag is white and blue, the blue for clear skies, the white for snow, and a sun is in the middle, representing the appearance of the sun through cloudy skies during an important demonstration for independence. Images and sounds come from the culture and are very rich. Some say tango, mate, and soccer explain it all.
¡Es un gol!
You'll want also to create an aesthetically appealing website, remembering that networks of family and friends are important. Vanity is a key part of culture. Masculinity calls for achievement and success as well as product durability. Highlight awards and honors from your company and include pictures of your staff to help reduce any anxiety and uncertainty your customers may experience. Argentina's telecom infrastructure is one of the most dynamic in Latin America. 2 telecoms dominate the market. Mobile phone penetration is quite high, as is cable TV usage. One of the largest markets for satellite services in South America is Argentina. The IT market is the second largest in Latin America and growing fast. The infrastructure ranks 55th in the world, 28th for internet users, 22nd for landline phones, 22nd for mobile phones, and 16th for internet hosts. The government has put forth many ICT initiatives, but there are still gaps. Education law supports access as important in education, but more content creation and improved teacher training is needed. The digital agenda aims to eliminate the digital divide, but the poorest and most isolated 60% of the population is badly underserved. With all the programs out there, there's no synergy because they operate independently. There's a little work going on with e-government policy, but more work is needed, and collaboration of civil society in policy development needs to be encouraged. The government is aiming to provide over 3 million PCs to public schools nationally in 2011. So what's their assessment for IT readiness? They're 96th in the world out of 138 economies. Not surprisingly, the lowest ranking components are the political and regulatory environment, the market environment, and government readiness. They're higher ranking for business and infrastructure and individual readiness, but they rank a dismal 135th, almost last, for the impact of ICT on access to basic services. In this intriguing country, we find a lot of potential and a lot of conflict. Good things are happening, but some problems just seem to be embedded in the culture. It's truly a land of contrast in a digital age.